Literally, what is happening? Okay, anyways, if you stumbled across this video, I've been accepted into the Disney College program. Woohoo! I don't even know if I'm looking at the right part of the camera. I really don't know what I'm doing. If I'm looking down a lot, I have all of my stuff written down. So pretty much the whole point of this is that I really just wanted to talk about the whole DCP application process and what it was like for me, what it was like for some of the people that I know that went through it. Alright, so I'll start off with a little get to know me. Hi, my name is Jocelyn. Most people call me Jo. I am from Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I am a freshman at Southeast Missouri State University. I am majoring in history. I have been accepted into the fall 2022 Disney College program. What? I am moving to Disney World. I am moving to Disney World. Like, I don't think that that is fully sunk in for me. Like, I'm moving to Orlando. First of all, Florida, my favorite state ever. Orlando, one of my favorite areas ever. But that's insane. That's insane. Like, I want to say that I am so blessed to have been given this opportunity to work for my favorite company at my favorite place. Like, it's so surreal, and I've been accepted for like a month now, and it's just, I'm speechless. It's been over a month and I'm speechless. Oh, and I will be living at Flamingo Crossing, forgot to mention that. So, I wanted to make this video to kind of be informational, because I know that whenever I was accepted, I was watching every single DCP, like, application video known to man, because I was like, I need to know when I'm hearing back. I need to know, like, what is the average time period that, like, you hear back from, like, what is the WBI, like, what is all of this stuff, because going into it, I knew what the Disney College program was. I did not know, like, anything about the application process. And this will be mixed with a little bit of a DCP tag. Sorry, this is like all over the place. But welcome to my brain. So essentially, I have dreamt about this forever. This has just always been something that I've wanted to do. Vlogging, I've never seen myself as a YouTuber or a vlogger or like anything like that. I always wanted to vlog for myself to look back on and be like, oh my gosh, that was so much fun, and like, you know, so I'd always saw myself doing that. But the more that I thought about it, the more I was like, you know, there may be a lot of people out there that find this video informational, and that is the whole point. I like to be informational. Okay, so the first question is, what is the Disney College program? So this is straight from the website, reading it word for word. The Disney College program is a 5 to 7 month paid internship designed to give students on-the-job experience working at the parks and resorts, participate in college coursework, and meet and live with people from across the world in company-sponsored housing. That's essentially sums it up. It's pretty much you're being paid. It is a paid internship, and you're going down to, right now, Walt Disney World. There is a Disneyland version. At the time of me filming this, which is April 1st of 2022, the Disneyland program has not reopened. That does not mean that it will not reopen, because I'm sure that it will in the future. I mean, I think that'd be pretty cool. If I had my choice, I would probably do Disney World anyways, but hopefully it will in the future. Oh, and also, the international program is coming back. So I am not an international student. I am from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, in the United States. So that's not something that corresponds with me. However, at the time of me filming this, they have made an announcement that it is coming back. I don't know all the details. I'm sorry. I wish that I could be of more use with that. Oh, and so then I want to talk about some of the differences. So coursework is optional. You do not have to participate in college classes while you do the program. I probably will not, just because I know that I can't imagine working 50 hours a week, because that is another thing. You will be working 35 to 55 hours a week, from what I have heard. So I will not be participating in college coursework, and I really I'm going for the experience. I want to go, I want to have fun, I want to meet people. That's the whole point of me doing this, and I want to work for one of my favorite companies in the world. Oh, also, something that I found out from watching several videos, Flamingo Crossing housing is optional. So if you don't know what Flamingo Crossing is, it is the housing that is offered to DCP. I don't know if it'll be offered to international students. I realized you probably couldn't hear me that whole time because I had my air on. I am so sorry. I don't know if the international students will also be living in Flamingo Crossing. That is not something that I know. But I do know that it is optional for DCP. You do not have to. It's pretty much like college dorming. I mean, you don't, dorming, is that a word? Dorms. You don't have to, but I am choosing to. Okay, so the second question is, how did I hear about the program? So I heard about the program through my mom, I believe. I think. I have a distant cousin that did it, and my mom had told that from me pretty much when my Disney obsession started when I was in middle school. My mom brought it up to me that, oh hey, you know, we have this cousin that did the Disney College program, that may be something that you're interested in. And I remember being like, what is the Disney College program? I now know what the Disney College program is. I have been accepted. Yay. So I got, during my Disney obsession stage, and like I say my stage, phase, whatever. During that phase of my life, I say phase, but it's really still going on. I've been obsessed with Disney forever. But I got really into Ellie Stedman's videos, and when she did the international program, the cultural exchange program, and she was working in Epcot, that's whenever I really started looking into it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's so cool. I wish that they did that for Americans, but unfortunately I live in America and I can't do that. And then I was like, Jocelyn, they literally do the Disney College program. You can just do that. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, so the next part of the DCP tag is, how is my application process? So this is going to be the longest portion of the video. I'm sure that the video is so long already by now. I'm so sorry. I tend to talk a lot, especially whenever I get really, really excited, so, but I have a lot to say about my application process, and I'm trying to be as informational as I possibly can. Okay, so first of all, I signed up for the emails in August of 2021. I don't know the exact date, I just know that that's when I signed up for the emails. I recommend signing up for the emails because that is what's going to keep you updated on when applications are open, when they're closing, you still have time to apply type stuff. That is how I found out that the applications had opened. On January 24th is when applications dropped. But I went home that day and I checked my email and I saw that applications had dropped. So let me explain what that looks like. So it's essentially, I mean, it's like any other application that you would fill out for a job. So essentially the application, you just fill out your typical stuff like your name, your school, personal information, and then you put all of your work experience. So for me, I had only had 2 jobs and I was currently working my second one. I put down my volunteer experience because I have 3 summers worth of experience of working at a children's theater camp as a camp counselor. So I put that on there, and then I also dog sit on the side, and I dog sit for multiple families, and I put that on there as well. Okay, so this is another thing. I've seen a lot of people talk about keywords that Disney looks for. Okay, so the 5 Disney keys are safety, courtesy, show, efficiency, and inclusion. So I've seen a lot of people talk about that in terms of the application and including that in your application. For me, I didn't know anything about the keys when I applied. I had never heard anything about the keys. I included most of those words just on my own filling out the application, so I have no idea if that contributes anything to the application because I just went ahead and included those on my own. I didn't know anything about them. And I did not add a resume. I don't really know if a resume helps. I know that a lot of people say that, but I did not add a resume, and I still got accepted, so, I mean, it's really just, it's whatever you want to do. Okay, so I submitted my application that night, so January 24th, late at night. If even 15 minutes later, I got an email saying that I qualified for a WBI, so I was like, whoa, that is insane. But that was just for me. I know that some people hear back like an hour, 2 hours, a day. I mean, like, you don't have to hear back 15 minutes after. That's just when I heard back. I didn't fill out my WBI that night. I did a whole bunch of research because I didn't know what was included in the WBI. So it's essentially like a personality test. It'll have like scaled questions like, my room is clean most of the time. And then it would have like on a scale of strongly disagree or strongly agree. But where it gets you is that it'll do like the same question twice but in different formatting because they're trying to weed out the liars. So it would have like, most of the time my room is messy. And they had several portions. I think there were like 4 parts. I could be wrong. It's been like a month since I've taken it. I should have filmed this sooner. And then they had one that was like multiple choice. You only have a few seconds per question to answer. So like you have to think on your feet. I think I only missed 2. So yeah, I did tons of research on it. I watched tons of videos. That's essentially my breakdown of what it was like. And then afterwards you will get a screen saying that you're either a strong candidate or you're no longer in consideration. Like, the screen will pop up at the end and tell you immediately. I have heard of some people getting something along the lines of like being a good candidate but they need more information. My biggest piece of advice for the WBI is be consistent with your answers. They are trying to weed out the liars, but you have to be honest. You'll be fine is what I'm getting at. January 25th, I filled out my WBI. Okay, also another thing about the WBI, you do not get a confirmation email afterwards. You filled it out, you're done, you're good to go. Don't stress about that. This is another thing to note, like if you sign up for the DCP emails, you will still get emails. Anytime that they email like generic emails, you will still get those. So like I waited 4 weeks until I got accepted. During that 4-week period, I was getting emails by the week reminding me to apply for the DCP. Those are just generic. If you sign up for the emails, you will still get those. Okay, so pretty much after that, after I submitted my WBI, that was when I joined all of the Facebook groups and I got put in a group meet. With the Facebook groups, another thing with the Facebook groups, I recommend going ahead and joining those before you get accepted, because that is how I've met everybody right now that I'm talking to. So don't wait until you've been accepted. Go ahead when you submit your application, or even before, join the Facebook groups, get to know people. I went ahead and posted my roommate survey, and then I would go through every day and find people and communicate. And I talked to everybody that I possibly could. Because the whole point of me doing this, I want to meet people. I want to get the experience. I want to get the job experience. I want to get like all of that is included. I want to do. So 4 weeks later, 4 weeks had went by and I finally got my acceptance email. Essentially what you're looking for is an email that will come across as do not reply, and then it'll say congratulations. Remember, I applied January 24th, filled out my WBI on January 25th, and got my acceptance on February 21st. So it was almost a month later that I got my acceptance. But once you get accepted, you have a 3-step process. I have it pulled up on my phone now. Step 1 is review and respond to your offer. So that is when you log back into your account and you'll read the long agreement thing, and then you put at the bottom, do you accept or do you decline? And of course I accepted mine. Then step 2, that is submit your program fees and select your date. So I actually waited several days to do this. You have 7 days to complete the 3 steps in order to accept your program. I waited like 2 or 3 days before I picked out my dates. Oh, I forgot to mention that. My dates are June 20th to January 26th. I can't believe I forgot that. I submitted my fee before I selected my dates, and you do all of this on Dorms. So Dorms is kind of complicated at first. At least I found it really complicated, because you get an email telling you, like, I don't know if it was like your username and your temporary password, I don't know. And I typed it all in and it said error. And I had never seen anybody talk about this before, and I'm like, error, like, and I made sure that I was doing it like word for word what they sent me. And it kept coming up errors, but I was essentially like, okay, so do I wait? Like, are they gonna sort out the problem like they were saying that they're going to? And they did, so it will say error, at least it did when I did, and it did whenever everybody that I've talked to has done it. But then I got an email telling me to reset my password or something like that, and that was how I got to sign into Dorm. So it's a little confusing, a little complicated, but just know that if you get an error message, it's okay. You're good to go. Don't stress. And then I selected my program dates. I do believe that you can change your program dates. I don't know if I still have the option to do it now. I honestly haven't looked because I like my dates. But I know that for a while you have the option of changing your dates, I think. And then step 3, complete the required information. So I got 2 Disney Housing no reply emails, and that was where I submitted my extra information. Like, it was super easy. It was like 1 question. It's not anything to stress over at all. And that's it. Once you do that, you will get a confirmation email after all of that, and it will say, here, I have it pulled up, do not reply, welcome to the Disney College program team. So when you get that, you know that you've completed all 3 steps and you are good to go. So I think that was everything that I needed to talk about the application process. Another thing that I wanted to note, I do not believe that applying early has any advantage on the program, because I applied the day of. Well, I mean, I sent my application the day of, I did my WBI the day after, but I did not get accepted until 4 weeks after. I know people who applied like 2 weeks after applications dropped and got accepted the next week. If applications have already dropped and you're still considering it, apply. Like, just do it. You're not gonna not get accepted just because you're applying late. Like, as long as the applications are still open, you're gonna be fine. So yeah, that was pretty much all on the application process. So let's continue with the DCP tag. Okay, so where was I when I found out? I had woken up early. I was getting ready for work that day. I knew that there was going to be a wave drop. And I forgot to mention this. Keep up with Twitter. Follow the recruiters on Twitter because they will post when a wave is happening. Waves typically happen on Mondays. I think we had one that was like a Thursday wave and it was a surprise wave, but most of the time they happen on Mondays. Occasionally they happen other days, but it's typically once a week. The only one that they didn't announce was the first wave. Well, then they posted like an hour later, haha, surprise wave. So anyways, I had gotten up, I had gotten ready for work. I knew that there was gonna be a wave drop, but I was so scared to look because it had already been 4 weeks, and I was like, look, like if I don't get accepted, I am gonna be so heartbroken. So I let my morning go about like normal, and then before I left for work, I opened up my email. I sat at my desk and I took a few deep breaths, I said some prayers, and I opened it up and I saw that I had been accepted, and I was, oh my gosh, I was overjoyed. Okay, so the next part of the DCP tag is, what is your role or dream role? So I actually don't really have a dream role. I came up with one a few days ago that's kind of funny, but I don't, like, my dream was to work for Walt Disney World. I don't really have a dream role necessarily, but my dream roles, I really think that anything in Galaxy's Edge would be awesome. I've grown up in a huge Star Wars loving family, so anything like that would be so cool. But the one that I came up with a few days ago was working on Living with the Land, because I love that ride. That's like a must for my family. Anytime we go to Epcot, we're like, guys, we have to do Living with the Land. I came up with that a few days ago because I was like, that'd be so chill. Like, that'd be so much fun. Honestly, I think Haunted Mansion or Tower of Terror would also be really cool. Or PhotoPass. I love photography, so I think that PhotoPass would be really cool. So the next question is, how did you find your roommates? How many do you want? If you're staying at Flamingo Crossing, you get 4 roommates no matter what. So you can either get a 2x2, you can get a 4x2, or a 4x4. So the 2x2, you will be with one other person sharing a bedroom and a bathroom. The 4x2, you will have your own bedroom, but you will be sharing a bathroom with one other person. And the 4x4, you get your own bedroom and bathroom. So I would prefer, I mean, I feel like most people would prefer a 4x4. However, I mean, I'm just happy to be there. If I get a 2x2, oh well. So yeah, I found my roommate through one of my other friends who I have been communicating with on Instagram every single day, because my Arrival group is so small. So I was getting on Facebook and Instagram like every single day, and I'm like, I have to find somebody with my dates. And like, we were just so far and few in between. Like, I think there's only 20 something people in my Arrival date group me, because I think to link with somebody, you have to have the same arrival date and the same departure date, I think, from what I've been hearing. This is another thing. Do not be afraid to DM people and introduce yourself. Like, that is how you are going to meet people. That's how I've met everybody that I've been talking to, because I'll DM somebody and then they introduce me to somebody else, and then they introduce me to somebody else, and it's a whole cycle. So that's how I've met everybody that I've been meeting. Keep that in mind. Next question, what are you going to miss while doing your program? So other than obviously my family and my friends and all that good stuff, I'm really gonna miss my pets. My cat is my best friend. My 2 dogs, I can't explain to them where I'm going. So I think that's gonna be really hard. The next thing that I'm going to miss is my tea place. The workers know me now. It's kind of embarrassing because I go there so much. So I'm really gonna miss my tea place. And my hometown. I mean, like, I've lived in Missouri my whole life. I've lived in Cape Girardeau my whole life. So I think leaving that 13 hours away is going to be really difficult. I'm so excited to move to Florida though. Next question, what's your favorite Disney park? So I think I touched on this earlier. My favorite Disney park is Epcot. I have been to Disney World 3 times, once when I was 8, once when I was 12, and once when I was 18 for my high school graduation trip with my parents. And all 3 times my favorite has been Epcot. I've always gone into the trip thinking that it's gonna be Magic Kingdom, and it always ends up being Epcot. Like, I don't know why. I think it's just the vibes. Like, I love how big it is. I love the idea of traveling the world. China is my favorite pavilion. I've spent hours in that pavilion. So that for me, Epcot, it holds a really special place in my heart. I love Epcot. Next question, what do you want to do first when you get there? I think, and I wrote this down, soak it in that I made it. Like, I think the whole process, the whole application process, the whole, like, lead up to everything, figuring out your role, housing, roommates, friends, like, it's all so stressful. It can be in a good way. There's so much that goes into it, and like making sure that you have everything, making sure that you don't forget everything. So I think whenever I get there, the first thing that I want to do is just soak it in, remind myself that I've made it, I'm supposed to be there, I'm there for a reason. Second to that though, I really want to go to Universal. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. Second to Disney, Disney is my number one. But we went to Universal, me and my family, for the first time a year ago, and we loved it. We thought that it was amazing. So that is going to be something that I look forward to a lot, doing this. And hang out with friends, like hang out with the friends that I've made. I've made so many friends through this process. It is insane. The fact that my program hasn't even started and I'm already texting people on the regular and considering some of these people some of my very close friends already, and I haven't met them. It's insane, and I'm so excited to get down there and hang out with them. I think that it is going to be so much fun. Next question. What is your number one on your bucket list? I put down two things, because I put down my Florida bucket list and my Disney bucket list. My Florida bucket list, I'm a huge Golden Girls fan. I really want to go to Miami and eat cheesecake. That is just, I don't care where, I don't care if I go sit in Walmart and eat cheesecake. Like, I just want to be in Miami and eating cheesecake. If you've watched Golden Girls, you know what I mean. And I really want to go to the Everglades. Like, I'm not saying that any of this is going to happen when I go down for my program. I don't know. I would like to explore a lot of Florida, but I know that I'm going to be working more than I'm not. But the Everglades have also been really high on my bucket list. I think that would be really cool. My Disney bucket list. I really want to build a lightsaber. My dad built one the last time that we went. We all, me, my mom, and my sister pitched in for him to be able to build one because he's been such a huge Star Wars fan his whole life. We did it for Father's Day. So I got to go in there with him because they're allowed one person. And like the whole experience of building a lightsaber, it's so cool. And then my second thing on my bucket list is 4 parks in one day. I feel like everybody says that. I think that it would be so much fun. And last question. What is one thing you hope to take away from your program? If I haven't said it enough in this video, it is new experiences and new people. I just want to get down there. I want to meet people. I want to, like, and not just the people that are doing the program. Guests that I will interact with on a day-to-day basis. I think that that is going to be so fun. So just new experiences and new people. I mean, that's the whole reason that I'm doing this, aside from loving Disney so much and just wanting to go down to Disney World. So yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up for this video. I really just wanted to be informational and maybe help you guys out a little bit. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to either DM me on Instagram or leave them down in the comments. I will try my best to respond. I like to consider myself pretty knowledgeable about this because I've been obsessed with Disney my whole life and I've done so much research. Well, I hope that this video kind of helped out. I know that it was a little chaotic, but hey, welcome to my brain. I don't really have an outro or anything. I don't know if YouTube is going to continue to be a thing or if I was just going to do this one and be done, but we shall see. We shall see where the wind takes me. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you have any questions, leave them down below or DM me on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram down below or I will insert it right here if I can figure out how to do that. So yeah, I hope that you have a great day.